I used to swim in here when I was a kid, but I wouldn't do it now. You can see the corner, that's what we used to use as a diving board. This was like over 40 years ago. I'm not telling you the name of the river because my auntie's house is just down the road literally, but it's really high at the moment because of all the water. Hello, this is Steve here. Just seen a film I put on. I went for a walk over Christmas and I put a couple of bits I took. Sorry about the end bit of the river I showed, but as you may agree with me, it looks a bit filthy dirty now. It's hard to believe 40 odd years ago I used to swim in that, but it's just a typical polluted UK river now. I've also got another bit of film I'm going to stick on the end. Then I shall chat some more, and that's it then. But I've just went to the record store again, so I've got some Christmas record money, a record token from my favourite record store. So I went to spend it today, so it could be my last opportunity this year. And I was quite shocked because when you go on these digs, I actually scored the Find of the Year today. And it's so good to me personally. My head nearly exploded. I was just absolutely shocked. It's an album I've been after for my collection for years. I never ever would have thought I would ever come across it in my lifetime. Not a excuse me, decent copy of it anyway. But this one's pristine, and I will save it till later because I don't want it to clash with the metal I've bought as well. And unlike Metal Theologian, I'm drinking tea today in this rather funny cup. It's one of my auntie's cups. It's probably been in the family for about 70 years, and it's a good brew, really good cup of tea. This is very strong, just how I like it. So I like to raise me cup of tea to you. I'm just a poor Englishman. Our palates are not as sophisticated as the Americans with those posh bottles of fire water, the pops. We only have the generic pop in this country, like Coke and that. We don't have these sort of homegrown ones. Our beer, on the other hand, different. We have a lot of home brews and different types. But with pop or soda or whatever you want to call it, we're pretty boring. I scored some great CDs. Excuse me, I'm just putting my tea on the carpet without knocking it down. Otherwise, all my record money will be forfeited next year when I buy another carpet. The first couple of albums I picked them up cheap, which I could not believe when I picked these two up. That's the Cancer album. I believe, and I've made a mistake, forgive me, because I'm doing it off the top of my head. And when you get to my age, the brain goes a bit fuzzy. But I believe that's their fourth album. It's my mate's band, Cancer. This is a local homegrown band from Telford, where I come from. I never expected to find it for £2. And I'll just show you the sleeve quickly. If you're into death metal, it's really, really good. It's got a nice picture on the front. You've got nice pictures there. And you got a nice picture of the band there. That's my friend anyway, I know him very well. But I remember when they first started. It's a great death metal band for £2. You can't go wrong with that. But I believe, I may be wrong, but that was their fourth album. The next one I got was Shocked Me as well for £2. And I believe this is their second album, but don't quote me on that, I may be wrong. And that's Biohazard. If you like fusion, that sort of music, that's right up your street. And I picked that up for £2. Couldn't believe it. That, certainly a bit more money. It's called Urban Discipline, and as I say, that's another great buy I had today for the price I paid for it anyway. I did well with the box sets today. I got this one. I think I've seen it before, but this is the Ted Nugent. You get 5 CDs, and I pay £6 for this. I'm not moaning for 5 CDs. You get Scream Dream, Weekend Warriors, Cat Scratch Fever, Free For All, and Ted Nugent. Probably his first 5, I'm guessing. But you know, for £6, I liked old Ted, or the Nuge, or whatever you want to call him. And for that, what I paid for that, you can't beat it. So I picked that up as well. My next pickup, Greg will be happy with me. Greg the Egg was the Deep Purple 3-pack. This is Greg, and this has got Perpendicular, Battle Rages On, and something Masters. I can't see because the price tag's covering it. I believe Slaves and Masters. I believe this is later albums, but I'm not too up on their later catalogue. It's like the first 4 or 5 albums I've listened to, like since they came out, basically, or just after, and I've been a massive fan. This is the later stuff I'm not too much of, but I bought this anyway. It again a good price, £6, but for 3 CDs. So I'll go in the Deep Purple collection. Plus the fact I've got the satisfaction that Greg will be happy anyway. But yeah, I couldn't beat that. The next bit was this one. I got another. I paid a bit of cash for this, but this is a promo, but not much. And you can see the sticker there. It's promo copy. One of these promos, only for copy only, not for resale. And this is Mark Portnoy. Hope I got that's Mike Portnoy's Dream Theater. I'm a big fan of this band, and I picked this one up again. It's called Scenes from Memory, and if you're into a bit of Dream Theater, that'll be the record for you. I'll show you the cover quickly, and you know, it's just not much in there, but yeah, it was a great pickup. My next pickup was what I call a snap. You remember that kids game where you play cards and you get 2 the same? It's a snap. I picked this one up because I've already got it at home. I've had it, you know, but I wanted a spare copy because I play it such a lot. And that's Bruce Springsteen's and the E Street Band, New York Live. This record's got one of the best versions of Badlands on it I've ever heard. Born to Run, all the massive classics. It's also got Murder Incorporated. It's also got a record on here that I believe got, yes it did, American Skin, and that got me into some serious stick for that. It was quite a controversial song at the time, because I believe 2 police officers shot this guy 41 times. If anyone knows the story, stick it in the comments below. But I knew it was very controversial. But I just love this, and also it's got my favourite song on, Jungle Land. That was off the Born to Run album. It's one of my favourite songs of all time. So you can't go wrong with this record if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan. It's just got everything on it, and it's just got another good song on it as well. I love Youngstown. I love that song. It's just nearly a 10 out of 10 record. It's a live album as well, and there's not a bad song on there. It's just really, really good, and I love it. So that's why I sort of bought a second copy of it. I played them to death now, but this is the sort of stuff I play it late at night. Rolling Stones, the Headpins, sort of that's the sort of music. It's my last record of the night. I'll stick this on to unwind before I go to bed. That's why I like it in the collection. The next one was another favourite band of mine, and for £3, I've been a fan of these since they started. I think it was around about 73, 74, and that was Sparks. Now, people don't realise, but when Sparks started in the early 70s, they were very rocky. They sort of progressed into a keyboard band a lot later, and I've been a massive fan since This Town Ain't Big Enough for Both of Us. Now, it's one of those tracks that if you YouTube it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, because it was their massive, massive hit. And that's what sort of launched their career. It was off their first album, Kimono, Kimono something. But I was a fan of this band since that album. That was about 73, 74. What I like about Russell and Ron is their songwriting. The lyrics are second to none, and they're thinking men's songs. You know what I mean? You get some songs they're sort of just laid back to, and you've got to listen to these. They've got a message inside them and everything. And some of them are humour, and some of them are very serious about the world events. But also, I want to say about Sparks as well, they've always been way ahead of their time. They sort of do stuff 5 or 6 years before anybody else does, and they're just an amazing band. They were on tour last year. Unfortunately, they were at Birmingham and I couldn't go, but I would have gone to see them. But they had a new album out last year, which I purchased. But yeah, I was pleased to pick this up for £3, and I can't wait to give it a spin. But I noticed Sparks is never shown much on the VC. Please check them out. They may not be everybody's cup of tea, but somebody might like them, and I hope they do. And it's the sort of band you want to get into. They'll reward you anyway. Yeah. But the next one album I bought, this is what I've got with me, like me Christmas money, if you like. I've got some Christmas money, and this is what I treated myself to. That's Blind Guardian. And this is a live CD pack. You get 3 CDs, and you get it was live in Europe. It's recent, maybe in the last couple of years. I would normally open this and show you what's inside it, but I'm not going to, because I'm travelling back and I don't like opening them before I travel. But when I get home I shall do a sealing reveal on this record. But it's Blind Guardian live, and it says a magic journey through the past and present. Enjoy the best performances of Blind Guardian recorded on their previous European tour. Hits, hymns and classics on 3 discs. Then it's got, I think, all the places where they were recorded. But yeah, can't wait to play this. This is a sort of a band I was late coming to the party with. They're very good, and I really like them. So I can't wait to give this a spin when I get home. Anyway, folks, this is my best find coming up for the year. I thought I'd leave it to last, because I was absolutely gobsmacked when I saw it, and I thought it'd be absolutely smashed to pieces, because records of 1965 normally are. But this one's in extremely good condition, and it just shocked me as well. It's an original press as well. And that's this baby. Rolling Stones. That's December's Children. Basically, a bit of history. This was recorded in 1965 in America, and they were doing Out of Our Heads, I believe. And I think they'd done the sessions and they recorded this, or they recorded it before, or it was during while they were doing the sessions for Out of Our Heads. But what it basically is all the recordings, a lot of songs they've done prior to 1965. And you've got stuff on here like She Said Yay, and you've also got You Better Move On. Now, this was when Brian Jones was playing with them. You see, with the Rolling Stones with me, there was 3 eras. You got the Jones era, you got the Mick Taylor era, and you got the Ronnie Wood era. Now, this was the Brian Jones, and to me, this stuff is when they were at their very best. Because Brian Jones was very underrated. At the time, he was one of the best slide guitarists in the UK, if not the world. And basically, he was with the Rolling stuff, and some of them records, excuse me, I need a slurp. My throat's starting to go. Sorry about this, folks. That's better. When Brian Jones excuse me, formed the band, some of his guitar work on the records was second to none. But unfortunately, a lot of politics within the band, and they basically kicked him out of the band because it went on for years before he died. And it depends what book you read, but apparently he was bullied out of the band, because what you got to remember was he started the band and he felt that Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were ganging on up on him and all this sort of stuff. They all, I'm only paraphrasing, by the way, and it all sort of keyed up to his death. So yeah, the stuff that Brian Jones did play on was exceptionally high quality. Now, I personally like the very early stuff because the Rolling Stones were incredibly raw, and that's illustrated with songs like You Better Move On, Route 66, which I believe was off their first album, and songs like Heart of Stone. Plus, for the fact you got, this was about the last album as well, where you had other people's compositions on here. Because after Jagger and Richards, or the Glimmer Twins, or whatever or Nanker and Fledge, started to compose their own stuff, so basically you got less and less cover versions on the subsequent Rolling Stones albums. This album's an absolute killer. Plus it had an extra bonus 2 or 3 tracks. But I'm going to get it out and show you. But I would not have dreamed of owning a copy of this. It's in this condition. It's just a mind blowing, and you can see how it shines. It's hard to believe this album is older than me. It's 65. I was born in 66, and it's just amazing. It's even got the fat sticker on the back, look, and it's got all the bits and pieces. And this is definitely the best find of the year for me by far. You've got a nice picture of Mick Jagger. You've got Con Le Mi Lacrime, which was, I believe, that's Tears Go By in Italian. You've got pictures of the band and etc. And it's a German press, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that. But it's on the Decca album. And you can see it's absolutely pristine. It's hard to believe what I'm holding in my hands. It's 53 years old, isn't it? It never ceases to amaze me about record collecting, how good it actually was. And you know, it smells of the period as well. But it's just absolutely. I saw this and I thought my heart just stopped. I never thought I'd pick it up in this condition in my lifetime. Certainly not for 20 quid. I don't mind telling people how much I pay for records, but certainly not for £20 note. It's just amazing, and it's in absolutely superb condition as well. You can tell by the sleeve, look. The only thing it's got visible was a bit of scuff there, but you know, you could forgive it after 52 years. Anyway, I'm starting to rant here. I'm going to show you another picture. Another bit of film, and this is a lake where I was walking around. I remember when it was a gravel pit originally. I remember when they dug it out in the 70s. Now it's all grown up and everything like that. Then after that, I've added something else as well. But I don't think I'll be doing anything before the new year, unless I go out record hunting again, which I very much doubt. I'm spent out, plus I've got my spoils of war on this campaign. So I want to wish everybody in the VC a happy new year. I want to wish Greg the Egg, Scott and all my friends, everybody in the VC, a super happy new year. Hope all your dreams come true next year. To the rest of the world, I just want to say peace and love, folks. Put all your differences behind and let's unite as one family for the new year. And this is the Headbanging Zulu saying goodbye, folks, and Happy New Year.